So I was.
Well, you're an expert.
Yeah. This is what I used to do. So like I started my career in Laredo, Texas in 2014. Obviously, I came in under the Obama administration, and there was like a border crisis when I came in. You know, people were just storming across the border. They knew they'd be able to get in, et cetera. Then when Trump came in, Trump really made it a bit easier to send aliens back, because what we were doing was when they were getting caught, they were getting what's called an expedited removal, or an ER. And when they get an ER, they have to get deported back within 2 weeks. And the good thing about that is they're not coming into the country. They're not really utilizing too many resources. They're not staying in custody too long. They're going right back over across the border. So that would, like, you know, made it a lot easier to send guys back and deport them, because whenever you catch illegal aliens, you got to figure out a way of how you're going to, you know, the disposition of how you're going to deal with them immigration wise. So that's when Trump came in. Now, to put things in perspective, when Biden came in, these illegal aliens were getting what's called notice to appears, or NTAs. Now, when you get an NTA, what ends up happening is you get a notice to appear in front of an immigration judge. But the problem with that is that you might not see an immigration judge for years, because
well, the average 7 years.
Yeah, it's nuts.
But so bottom line, to dumb it down for people.
Yeah,
they dismantled it all. When you see your former colleagues, I'm not a brown noser for federal police. I mean, when they do bad stuff, I'm against them. But this is heroic stuff we're seeing. I mean, these guys are like...
It's great. And they haven't been able to... And I want to make this very clear. Like, I can say definitely he's doing a good job, because he's doing interior enforcement. Doing interior enforcement is significantly harder than just doing... Well, he shut down the border, which is good, which freed up Border Patrol to go into these interior cities where they're doing this interior enforcement that you guys are seeing now. And I haven't seen a president do this ever. And this has been a problem that we've been dealing with.
It hasn't really happened for real since Eisenhower.
Yeah. So it's good that he's doing it. And, you know, I can definitely say, you know, they're using all the law enforcement agencies to do it. Even agencies that don't even have Title 8 authority, like ATF, they're out there helping. So it's good, man. This has been a can that we've been kicking down the road for a very long time. And it's good that they're finally like...
Well, if you can't control your border, you're not a country.
Yeah. And he shut down the border. Now they're finally getting rid of the illegal aliens that are in. And then hopefully we can deal with the visa problem as well, because we got people coming in and overstaying their visas. Like, as many people we've got coming in illegally, we got people coming in legally and then abusing the immigration system as well.
So 9.5 months into the Trump administration, give your honest report card.
For immigration?
All of it. Just
okay, so for immigration, I'd give him a B. I'd give him a B. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Let me compare him to other presidents. Compared to other presidents, I'd give him a B+. Because I got to compare him to others. Because like what I would do, like I got to be realistic here. That's different than what he's doing as a president. I'd give him a B+ compared to other presidents, for sure.
The government fears Alex Jones, who has the largest audience in the country, bigger than any of the networks, the biggest megaphone in the country.
The deep state hates Alex Jones with a vengeance.
Alex Jones is the most extraordinary person I've ever met.
Across the Western world, from Australia to France, the UK, Canada, the US, Antifa has brutally attacked our reporters, killed citizens, murdered federal officers, firebombed federal buildings, shot up ICE facilities. And we're told by Jimmy Kimmel that it doesn't exist. Classic, disgusting gaslighting. Myron Gaines, very popular talk show host, frequent listener of his, and is a conservative political, cultural, and true crime commentator, host of the world's #1 men's podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast, former DHS special agent, real estate investor, live on Rumble and YouTube Monday through Friday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Myron Gaines X. And we're going to cover it all. There's so much to hit today, but since I mentioned it, I already played it last hour, but I'd love to show you something. Here's Jimmy Kimmel saying Antifa does not exist. We'll tell that to our former reporter who was the White House 2 days ago, Savannah Hernandez, that's been beat up at least 10 times by him. Here it is.
You understand, there's no Antifa. This is an entirely imaginary organization. There is not an Antifa. This is no different than if they announced they rounded up a dozen Decepticons. We've captured the Chupacabra, everyone. And then it was Trump's turn to ratchet up the rhetoric with fiery images conjured from no one has any idea where.
That's right. There's no violence. They weren't ramming federal vehicles repeatedly in Chicago a few days ago. Myron Gaines, you have great contacts in the DHS still. I mean, this is a major group funded by the Democrats directly. Now they've been declared a domestic, now international terror group. That's taking the gloves off. Great to have you here. Let's tackle this first.
Sure.
The No Kings protest. Schumer saying he's keeping government shut down to raise the temperature for uprisings, you know, kind of the Civil War movie. In reality, you got the new Battle After Battle, Leonardo DiCaprio fantasizing about dynamiting ICE facilities. I mean, Hollywood's really hoping for something here.
Yeah, no, I'm glad that Trump finally designated them as a foreign terrorist organization. I've been saying this for years. How them, BLM, and these other, you know, wild leftist organizations need to be targeted by the federal government. And I'm glad that they're finally doing it, because I'll tell you this, they have no problem targeting conservative groups whatsoever, right? And these guys have been able to...
Well, after Jan 6, they can arrest thousands of people that are innocent.
Exactly, and for doing far less, right? So, you know, and the thing also with the left that I think people need to understand is that, like, these groups have been able to formulate, organize, populate, they strategize, they've been able to do this for a very long time with no law enforcement intrusion. And I'm glad that now they're finally being targeted, because these guys have been involved in a whole bunch of BS for a very long time. And it took Charlie Kirk getting assassinated, you know, in front of everybody for them to finally clamp down on left-wing violence.
Well, can you imagine if a right-wing group acted like this?
Oh, they'd be in jail immediately. Like the FBI aggressively went after everyone after January 6th. Even people that like went in, they charged them with misdemeanors. They went spent a ridiculous amount of resources on misdemeanors, which, you know, for the feds is ridiculous, because you're not even supposed to be wasting your time as a special agent going after people for misdemeanors. They did that for January 6th. Yeah, so you know, I'm glad that they're finally, you know, taking the gloves off with these guys, because these guys don't just protest and, you know, destroy inner cities. They go after ICE agents when they're trying to deport people. And it's just absolutely nuts.
And we saw new footage in Portland where the police were arresting Nick Sorter, who was attacked, and then actually celebrating him being attacked.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see the cop jacking off too? Were you doing the interview?
I did not see. There was a cop jacking off in the interview?
They have the weird social cops now. And they're doing an interview, and he's like sitting there. Yeah, I'm not joking.
Oh my God, man! Oregon is cooked. Like, we just need to, we just, like Portland, Oregon, like it's just cooked, man. And the fact that, like, you know, these guys.
So what are we gonna do about all these cooked cities?
You know, we need to annex them or something, man. Like, it's starting to get ridiculous. Like, let them just have it. Like, let the Hispanics and the blacks and all the crazy people just have these cities, and we just you know, all the rationally sound people can be in one area, and then all the crazies can be in another area.
But is it even fair to blame Hispanics and blacks? Isn't it the leftist leadership that's doing it?
Of course, because you got rational, you know, black people like myself here, right, and rational people that might be of Arab or Muslim descent, but. You know, the reality is, unfortunately, they get indoctrinated with this whole leftist ideology where it's like, oh yeah, like, we're gonna do what we need to do, and if that means violence, I mean, look, they just arrested a guy just earlier today for Benny Johnson. Like, it's
yeah, we'll play a
outrageous.
Clip of the press conference here in a moment, but the paradox, because you've got the lobby mainly funding open borders,
yep,
but then you also got the left allied with that. And then it's very apparent. And then you got this explosion of awakening to Israel, which I think overall is healthy. Then it kind of gets exaggerated. It's just, how would you quantify the time we're in right now?
It's unprecedented times, man. I never thought we'd be in a time where people would be waking up to, you know, Zionist control of America. I didn't think it'd happen, because we know censorship has been going on for a very long time on this topic. So the fact that people are waking up is good. And I think it's one of the few topics that both people on the right and the left are agree on, is like, hey, you know, for different reasons, right? I always say the left argues from the perspective of humanitarian, hey, they're an apartheid state, they're an ethno state, blah, blah, blah. Versus the right, we have problems with them, like, you know, circumventing our government, and from a nationalistic perspective.
Well, the left, though, they're betting everything. We're putting headlines up on a violent confrontation, a civil war. That's the plan. We have this No Kings thing coming up. What do you think is going to happen next week? Where do you see this going?
It's nuts, man. And I'll tell you this: they're acting like this and they're not in power. Can you imagine if a Democrat gets back into power in the White House? What's going to happen? We're all cooked. I truly do think that, like, we are all cooked on the right if a Democrat gets back into power.
Well, Hakeem Jeffrey says they're going to arrest all of us.
Yeah, they're 100%. And the fact that Trump is, you know, Comey got arrested, Letitia got arrested, Skiff is probably going to get arrested next. And mind you, these are clear-cut charges. Like, they're committing mortgage fraud. It's very simple. Like, Like, anyone that's a real estate investor knows, like, this isn't your main residence.
You're not just a former federal DHS officer. You're also a successful real estate guy.
Yeah.
With Trump, it was all fake. With her, it's cut and dry.
Yeah. With Trump, it was trumped up stuff. So with the whole the Trump stuff, right? Like, it was a misdemeanor charge in New York, right? And they trumped it up. Well, no pun intended. They trumped it up to felony charges because they were trying to send a message, right? And they looped in the whole Stormy Daniels thing and everything else like that. But with her, it's clear cut. It's like, this isn't, you don't live here, you're getting a loan here, because what ends up happening is if it's your primary residence, you're able to get way more favorable loan terms.
Get a write-off.
For those that are, yeah, you could write not just writing up, but like you get a good interest rate. You're able to get you could put less money down. There's a lot of incentives to make.
So it's bank fraud, it's money laundering,
yep.
it's
bank fraud for sure, wire fraud for sure.
Well, I'm told she's about to get hit with tax evasion and the other stuff. But, you know, I did call it. I said, Comey first, then her.
Yeah, as she should. You know, because I saw people saying like, oh, this is politicized. Dude, it's not politicized. It's cut and dry. Like, you lied on your
Plus, she started it.
She did start it. Going after him for real estate stuff. Versus her.
By the way, you'd love to buy Mar-a-Lago for $18 million.
Yeah, that would be a very good deal.
What, it's worth $500 million?
Oh man, it's and he was able to get like some type of thing set up where, because I think there's something to do with like a graveyard.
Yeah,
he did some. He's a very savvy real estate investor, I'll say that. But like with what they went after him for in New York with the falsifying business records, that's a misdemeanor charge.
Plus he paid all the bank. Go back from memory, like he got $200 million is what he said it was worth.
Yep.
The banks, he paid it all out ahead of time.
Oh, yeah.
Now he's had billion-dollar offers, lots for 2 acres, $200 million. The idea that they charged him with fraud because they said it's worth $18 million is insane.
Well, they brought the banks in and they testified and said, no, he satisfied all of his loan terms. It was all good, right? Like they even brought them in and they still convicted him. That was a very politicized. If you want to talk about the Trump, especially this with Alvin Bragg and her, the entire Manhattan DA was after him 100%.
Sure, she said we're going to get him before. She said, I don't know what he's done. We'll get him when she ran for office back by Soros.
Alvin Bragg campaigned on it too.
Exactly. Did you see her whining, saying this is weaponization? Everything she did is what they did.
She released it was hilarious. She released a 2-minute. This is political. I'm not fearful. I'm fearless. Like, get the hell out of here, man. Like, dude.
And well, she put on the form she married her dad, like Ilhan Omar.
Yeah.
To get another tax write-off.
And not only that, she also has a property in Brooklyn that she, I think she got a residential loan on it when it's really a commercial property.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of renters.
Yeah. So that's another thing that she did as well. So they might go ahead and do a superseding indictment because this, from what I read on the indictment, it's just the Virginia or Maryland, one of these places.
It's Virginia.
Virginia.
It's just the beginning.
Yeah, that was.
Well, that's what I'm saying is, she's an expert on mortgage fraud. That's what she charged him for.
Yeah, it's hilarious. It's literally hilarious that like that's what she got hit with.
Well, it's a famous thing, like you dig a pit for somebody, the Bible says you fall in it. Guys, find the clip. I don't know which one it is, where she's whining yesterday. This is Letitia James. I mean, this is just absolutely insane.
It was comedy.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Justice, though.
It's crazy that she's doing this. Yeah, it's clip 5. She says this is a desperate precedent, weaponizing stuff. No, lady, you ran on putting him in jail and then did all this, and now you did what you said he did, and then she's literally sitting there. Here it is, clip 5.
Yeah, she was sitting there at the trial.
This is nothing more than a continuation of the president's desperate weaponization of our justice system. He is forcing federal law enforcement agencies to do his bidding, all because I did my job as the New York State Attorney General. These charges are baseless, and the president's own public statements make clear that his only goal is political retribution at any cost. The president's actions are a grave violation of our constitutional order and have drawn sharp criticism from members of both parties. His decision to fire a United States attorney who refused to bring charges against me and replace them with someone who is blindly loyal not to the law, but to the president,
She's talking about herself,
is antithetical
Soros.
to the bedrock principles of our country. This is the time for leaders on both sides of the aisle.
Why do I always feel like she's sitting on a toilet
out
when she's
against
talking?
this blatant perversion.
She reportedly does.
Our system
she
of
sits on a toilet when
justice.
she does these announcements.
I stand strongly behind my office's litigation against the Trump Organization. We conducted a 2-year investigation based on the facts and evidence.
All right, that's enough. We can play the clip where she says, I'm doing it politically. So.
Yeah, no one is.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Now that they know they're not above, I'm told hundreds of indictments are coming. Jack Smith next, Brennan, you name it.
Jack Smith. Wow.
Oh yeah. So
he got out of Dodge quick.
Yeah, because everything they do stands on they're invincible, they're above the law. I'm told they have whistleblowers out the door. You know, the chief of staff about the auto pen already came out. What are they going to do as their confidence collapses? The whole thing's built on fraud. Look how scared Hakeem Jeffries is, his body language now. You can see them. They're running scared now.
Yeah, and I think it's important that people understand that they started this, right? When they started, you know, indicting Trump in New York, and then in Southern District of Florida, and then in DC, and then in Georgia, right? Like, they started this, man. So, you know, at this point, it's like, did you not see this coming? Like, you guys went ahead and you guys tried to destroy this guy's life. You guys went ahead and tried to politicize his arrest.
Oh, Psycho Joe said, oh my God, this will happen to you once we're back in. No shit, Sherlock, you started it.
Yeah, they started it, dude. And people forget that, like, they started it. They started
it. Let's just say Trump's like you, a big, tough guy. People in person, you're really a big guy. I'm pretty tough too, but I'm not starting to fight. Plus, I like you. But like, if I go over and punch you in the face, you're going to attack me, probably kick my ass. Like I go and punch you in the face, and then you start beating my ass. Like, what are you doing? And it's like, I just punch you in the face.
Like, not only did they punch him in the face, but like, they forgot that they committed crimes themselves. And it's like clear cut, dude. Anyone that's a real estate investor will tell you, like, what she did was mortgage fraud, 100%. It's not even,
something like 10,000 people go to prison a year for that.
Yeah, people do it all the time. People do it.
But that's when they cracked down in 2008. But what I'm saying is, it's this weird thing where there's no cause and effect. Like, they start a fight and they don't get. Now you wrote the check, you got to cash it.
Yeah, and not only did they start the fight, they started the fight with committing crimes of their own and clear-cut crimes. It's not like this is complex stuff. This is simple stuff. Like, dude, you signed the loan for a home saying it's your primary residence when it wasn't. Like, you're cooked. It's done. Like, very simple. So, you know, Skiff is going to get hit next probably because he did something very similar as well. So
Schiff's. What I've been told is this Jack Smith, Brennan, and plus you don't just see it in the news. You know, they've raided and charged dozens of these.
Yeah, they raided Bolton too.
Yep, Bolton's up, but they've been raiding the law firms that are doing the human trafficking. That's big.
Oh yeah, well,
Mayorkas is coming up.
Yeah, you know. And I've talked about that.
That's your specialty.
Yeah, well, Mayorkas, yeah. See, with immigration, right? People say, "Oh, Myron, you're like a far-right person when it comes to immigration." We are getting destroyed on immigration, and I'm glad to see that, you know, Trump is finally enforcing interior immigration. For many years, we had never enforced interior immigration where we actually have ICE agents running out there getting these guys while they're in, because for a very long time, and I remember when I was on a job, if someone made it past the functional equivalent of the border and they made it into like a San Antonio, because I lived here in Texas for many years. I actually started my career in Laredo, Texas, 3 hours south on 35. If someone made it past the checkpoint on Interstate Highway 35, checkpoint 29, and they made it to San Antonio, they're pretty much good.
You make it 80 miles in, you're in.
Yeah, you're pretty much in. And many places, you know, don't want to enforce immigration. Like Austin PD right here, I'll never forget. I had an arrest warrant here like maybe 10 years ago. And we told Austin PD we got a felony warrant for someone for conspiracy to smuggle illegal aliens. And we told them we needed them to come out and help. And they didn't want to come out and help. They did not want to come out and help.
And that's when Insurrection Act comes in. Trump doesn't want this. It's in the Constitution. He swore to preserve it, not just protect and defend. If the blue cities are in rebellion, if they're letting criminals, not just illegals, but people committing crimes run around, he would be derelict in his duty if he didn't do this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm glad that he's doing it because this needed to be done a very long time ago. And it's not just people coming in, you know, in the border. We're getting beat on other ways. You mentioned law firms. There's law firms out there where they facilitate marriage fraud. It's a very big thing because it could be made a lot of money. Like we're talking about $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 for a U.S. citizen to marry someone because that's the easiest path to citizenship and or getting a green card.
And now we get their emails where they advise the fraud, prison.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of where we are, where immigration has been. I think somewhere like in Minneapolis, right, a big Somali community. They looked at the CIS files. There's something like 40% fraud.
Of course. So what I'm saying is, do you agree though, as they finally start indicting people, the house of cards is going to fall because the confidence game is going to be over.
Yeah. And it's just so many different. We have so many different problems. Like with immigration itself, this is something that's been an issue for a very long time.
But so what do the Democrats do now? They're cornered.
Man, I think they're gonna fight back and they're gonna try to gain influence to some degree. And I'm telling you, if they ever get in power, we're all cooked. I truly do think like if they ever, because they're fighting right now and they're not even in power. They're assassinating our political commentators. I mean, they just try to attack Benny. They tragically killed Charlie, right? You've been targeted many times. I mean, myself.
I don't even live at my house now.
Yeah, like
I don't give them what they want, but it's been
Dude, we're
doxing daily.
Yeah,
Swatting daily.
Yeah, I get death threats every single day. So like everyone on the right, man, is really, you got to be careful.
The joke of the sheriff's department, though, is I actually have my own sheriff's department guards now.
Oh, nice.
Because the swatting's daily now.
Wow.
So there's sheriff's department out there every day now.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because I would hope that they aggressively pursue these guys, especially because you could go after them federally for that because they're using a phone to commit fraud, whatever. But that's a whole other conversation. But
they use an ISP blocker out of Europe, and then they
Oh wow, man, it's nuts. It's a very it's a very scary time to be on the right. And then even though we have power in the government, they're not gonna let up, man.
So how do you see it unfolding, though? Because I agree they're not giving up, but they're losing record low fundraising, record low polls.
Yeah.
And their leadership is Schumer and people and Hakeem Jeffries.
Yeah.
Like a Jeffries should have laughed at the sombrero and said, Trump puts out fake video. A mustache pops up, a sombrero goes on. A 5-year-old would know it's a joke.
Yeah.
Oh, Trump put out a fake video, deep fake. I mean,
it's I think they're desperate now at this point, right? And people fight the most, as they're, bleeding the most. So I think we haven't seen the worst. Honestly, I don't think we've seen the worst at this point, right? I
agree. So they're saying they're going to have an uprising on the 18th. They said that in June too. It didn't happen. What do you think they're going to do?
It could be anything where, whether it's a symbolic assassination of someone on the right wing that's, prominent, or it could be maybe, God forbid, taking another shot at the president or a political individual in the cabinet. There's just so many different angles that they can go, and they're pissed off, man. And the thing I will say about the left is that they will mobilize, they'll protest, they'll get together, they'll, they're definitely organized. And they'll take to the streets. They'll do what they need to do. So can't put anything past these people, man. You really can't.
All right, I want to talk about coming up, Trump and the Nobel Peace Prize and the Israel deal and all the rest of it. And I want to talk about Charlie Kirk because by the evening of him being murdered 3-4 weeks ago, a month ago now, people were saying it was Israel. And I said, hey, Israel could. I mean, Israel does all sorts of bad stuff. But we weren't even sure at that point. Then Candace Owens releases, she says it. They say she's a liar. She releases it. She keeps, setting them up with that. Where, yeah, he wanted her to speak at events. No, he didn't. And she releases it. Oh, he was really pissed off at Israel, breaking with him. No, you're a liar. She releases it. Now she's set to release the info where I think Israel's going to kill me. I just said to listeners, I said, if I see proof, I'll go there.
Yeah.
I need to see a little proof. And so it's moving that direction. We got 3 minutes to break, but just before we hit this, we come back. Let's see Charlie Kirk. What do you think? Because I don't think the official story adds up. I can't then say Netanyahu did it, but if he's breaking with him, then we have to look at that.
I mean, to be honest, Alex, I'm right there with you. Like, when these alternative theories came out, like the official narrative for sure has problems, right? We're talking about, a 30-06.
It blasts right through Buffalo's neck.
You know what I mean? Was it a 30-06 really? We have footage of him running across the
I've
roof.
Shot buffalo, elk with it, and 400-pound hogs. It goes right through.
Yeah, and it would have been, and if it was a
30-06,
yeah, it would have been like an explosion, right? I mean,
it blows a 5-inch hole in it.
Yeah. So is it a 30-06? Then the other thing too is like the FBI released the footage of him running across, but we don't have him in the prone position taking a shot. Why can't we see that? You already released the footage of him running across. Why can't we see him prone taking a shot, right? If it really happened. So there's many holes here that the police have basically,
It's a university. There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah. Why do we not have more footage? And the thing is this. This is a murder investigation. This isn't a national security terrorism case. Don't give me the whole classified BS. And the thing is that the FBI is not even running this case. It's actually the state police. The state police criminal investigation division.
And maybe they're going to release it at trial, but why not now?
That's what I'm saying. Release it now, at this point, right? Because this is a case that has.
They go, we don't want to prosecute. Interest. They always do their case in the media.
Great public interest, right? People want to know. You're losing, the trust of the people. I say release it. Put it all out there. People have questions about.
What is your gut level thing?
Man, I haven't made a concrete, formulation of what I think is yet as far as like the official narrative or these other things, but like I'm open to information. I'm looking at all the evidence, and you know, I will say the official narrative has holes in it, man. And you know, the American public is definitely.
Yeah. What about the weird ChatGPT style letter to his boyfriend, where it hits every point to convict him?
Yeah, that was weird too. Yeah, that was, no one texts like that. Like that was also weird what they released. Like and that's another problem. Like there's just so many holes in the official narrative where it's like the FBI and the police have got to come out and like you guys got to be clean about this, man. You guys got to release what it is so that the American public can build trust back in, because the American public does not trust law enforcement anymore, unfortunately.
Well, I love how Candace Owens has set him up, because each stage she says it, they say she's a liar, she releases it.
Yeah.
Now she's going to release a text where he thinks Israel's going to kill him.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. I said I'll go wherever it goes. This is getting crazy town, folks. You know, there's a major normalcy bias where people think, oh, yeah, business as usual. It ain't business as usual. Got Chucky Schumer saying they're going to keep the government shut to the 18th, the next Saturday, so they get an uprising. You got Hakeem Jeffries saying it. Myron Gaines, really smart, popular talk show host, one of the top podcasts in the world, host of the world's #1 men's podcast, the Fresh and Fit podcast, Myron Gaines X.
Thanks for having me, man.
You bet. Good to have you here, man. I'm flattered you came here. Saw you on Temple.
We need you in Miami.
I'm ready to come, man. I'm just busy battling here. So let's talk about Israel, big picture.
Sure.
Obviously, Israel's been controlling our foreign Middle Eastern policy, but now the Democrats are in so much trouble. I have seen the Democrats falling apart. So Israel and the Kudniks are making a move on the Trump administration. And I knew behind the scenes people in the meetings that Trump's screaming at Netanyahu. They big fights.
That too.
But at the same time, I don't think Israel's the only piece on the board. But the way Netanyahu's been behaving, the October 7th stand down, now this supposed deal, he said once the war is over, they'll investigate it. And now we've got 200 troops to monitor Gaza ceasefire. I'm really concerned that these troops are going to get sent over there, even their advisory capacity. They get killed, and then it's blamed on Iran or something in Hezbollah. I'm very concerned because even the EU said, NATO, oh, we're going to put advisor troops in to Ukraine, and then if Russia kills them, we go to full war with them. I'm really concerned about this. So speak to that. And then in general, there's a mania about Israel because it's the last taboo people aren't supposed to cover. And Israel's been used to bully people and shut people up and all of it. So I get it. It's healthy to have free speech. But at the same time, I get accused of working for Israel with no evidence because I don't just focus on Israel only. I'll cover communist China and the South China Sea taking stuff over. Or I'll cover Mexican drug cartels. See the comments. Why are you covering up for this? It's this one-track mind. And so as this obsession intensifies, but then we go where the news leads us, why do you think it's come to this head, and where do you think it's going?
Yeah, well, I think with when it comes to us being able to talk about Israel and Zionism or power, any of these things, it's been a topic that's been taboo for so long. So like people are like finally able to talk about it, and they're going kind of nuts, right? I was like, yeah, so finally we can talk about it. So you get the people that are, refined or able to articulate, the problems at hand, whether it's our foreign policy being controlled by Israel or the lobby that runs America, whatever it may be. Then you get the crazies out there that is just like everything is the right. And it's like we have to be able to, take an approach where we can identify the problems and not just be able to identify the problems, but be able to do it accurately so that our credibility stays intact. Now, when it comes to, what we got going on with these 200 troops, that does concern me because, when it comes to American troops in the Middle East, I'm always concerned. And, let's be very clear here. I will not put anything past the Israelis when it comes to false flags. People forget that, during the Bush administration, towards the end of it, I know you probably know about this, Alex, but for your audience here, for their purposes of them just knowing, the Israelis had tried to do a false flag with the Iranians before, posing as CIA operatives by getting militants from the Jundullah terrorist organization, Baloks basically, to make an attack in Tehran. And this happened at the end of the Bush administration, and he basically didn't have the balls to do anything and reel the Israelis in. And they literally had Mossad agents posing as CIA operatives, funding these Jundullah guys to do an attack in Tehran, Iran, which could have created enormous geopolitical ramifications for us with foreign policy.
And we have the Levant affair.
Exactly.
We have the USS Liberty. So Israel's a thoroughbred at staging stuff to get
Absolutely.
us into a war.
They're good
so
at it.
You've got to be concerned about this.
Hell, even with 9/11, yeah. So I'm concerned with American troops being in the region because you're right. They can easily, and another thing people need to understand when it comes to, Israelis is there's a lot of Arab Israelis. There's a lot of Muslim Israelis. There's a lot of Israelis that are white, that are black. They can fill in so many different roles.
Well, Israel has special brigades that are Arab.
Yes, yes, absolutely. That speak fluent Arabic that are literally from, because people need to understand that there's Sephardic Jews who are Hispanic, there's Mizrahi Jews who are Arabs, there's Ashkenazi Jews who look white, there's Ethiopian Jews, the Somalian Jews, like they're from all over the place, right? So the reality is that when it comes to the Mossad, they can do these false flags and make it look like it came from a Hezbollah or from an IRGC or whatever. And you
by way of deception.
Yeah, but that's literally their phrase with the Mossad is, by way of deception, we will create war or rise up and kill them first. So they will do anything that they need to do, and I don't like Americans being in the region. I'm very worried.
100%. So, but Netanyahu, I mean, Michael Sabajon, who's dialed into like top Israelis, he's pro-Israel, and he says Netanyahu's got to go. I mean, they have the lowest poll numbers in Gallup. Israel's the most unpopular country in the world. Yeah. My issue is, I don't want to blow up Israel. I don't want to do all this. I'm not. But does everybody think about, as the whole world turns against Israel, how does that unfold? What does Israel do with nuclear weapons? Like, let's think about where this goes with this craze to get Israel, which gives Netanyahu more messianic power. He's getting all charged up. There's got to be a way to de-escalate this.
And people need to also understand that, like, you guys think Netanyahu's bad. The people behind him in the Likud party are even worse. He's the moderate. Right, he's the moderate. When you look at people,
it's like they say, get rid of Putin, you'll get somebody 10 times.
It's going to be worse. So you know, and obviously Netanyahu also is dealing with a criminal investigation right now for corruption and bribery and everything else. So he's obviously wants to hold on to power, and he knows extending the war out will allow him to do that. I do see a war with Iran as being imminent. There were some rumors about like, oh yeah, he called Putin and said I don't want a war with Iran, but I don't believe that. I think that a war with Iran is going to happen before the end of this year or early next year. I think that's going to be the next step after this whole.
Well, that's
Hamas
the official
thing.
Israeli policy.
With the
trying to get Iran war.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. They've been trying to do it forever, and it benefits them, right? Because they know that Iran is basically the last thing that's blocking them from complete hegemony in the Middle East.
So, I'm going to ask you again, you're a smart guy.
I don't think
as this clash with Israel intensifies, where does that lead? I'm asking everybody. Like, okay. Whole world turns against Israel. Okay. We can't reform Israel. Okay. They got nuclear weapons. Samson option. Do people like, it's like, even if you hate Russia, which I don't hate Russia, they got their own problems, but the NATO started it. But now they want to keep pushing it. Trump's going to try to give them cruise missiles. So even if you hate Russia, we go to nuclear war. It's like, same with Israel. Like, it's like China. I don't like Xi Jinping, the communist, but like at a certain point, you can't appease them. At a certain point, you won't start a fight with them. My point is, like Israel, Russia, China, they got nuclear weapons. So everybody who's obsessed with this fight, like, where does this lead?
Yeah, and this is why I'm so anti-war, because people don't understand that, like, nuclear warfare is not good for anybody. And I do think that we need to get out the Middle East and focus on China. I do think that China's a way bigger I think China's the real threat, honestly.
And when I say that, which is all, they literally froze all the rare earth minerals. They have 98% control. Dude. And Trump's right, like, everything's made with that. China's been positioned to dominate. And every time I say, hey, guys, let's spend 50% on Israel. Okay, fine. A little bit on China. Shut up. You work for the... No, China is the big gorilla.
Yeah, it is. It is. And this is why I've been like, obviously I cover Israel quite a bit, Middle Eastern foreign policy, etc. But I think that...
No, I do too, but there's this thing where it sucks oxygen out of the room.
Yeah, people get obsessed. And the reality is we need to focus on China. Like, the reason why I'm so anti-war, we need to get the hell out the Middle East and stop these wars.
Just get ready for China.
Is we need to focus on China. Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, they are... I mean, if you compare...
All the war games with AI show China's the issue.
Dude, not just that. Like, look at when they had their parade, right, versus our parade. They're marching in cadence. They're showing off all their weapons or whatever. What do we got? Like fat women, a bunch of fat dudes walking around. They can't even walk in cadence. It's like we need to.
And our enemies see that.
Yes. And look, there's definitely a problem. There's definitely an Israeli problem here in America. I get it with the lobbying and the wars in the Middle East. But we need to handle this so that we can focus on the real problem, which is, I think, China. That's the biggest threat.
Well, that's my point to people is. People politically kind of woke up. I was making films about the Liberty 20 years ago and having the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff on exposing it. No one can do more interviews than me on Liberty because they're all dead.
Yeah.
My point is
cover 9/11. You were talking about the
all Israeli, of it. My point is there's big stuff to deal with. There's also this thing, and I get most Muslims aren't radical, but the leadership is. It wants to be expansionist. The CIA, Mossad's funding it for this class of civilizations, but. People have to understand that, look how they just turned over Syria to Al-Qaeda. My point is there's a lot of other big issues.
Jolani. That's crazy that Ahmed al-Shar is the president of Syria. Like, this guy was literally an Al-Qaeda guy for, decades, and he's shaking hands with Trump and Marco Rubio. Nuts, man.
Well, I'll tell you what I don't like about it, Netanyahu. Because he gets called the carpet by Trump and others. He doesn't think about any of the secondary effects of what he's doing. It's all about him, not even Israel. He doesn't even want to hear about we got to pivot from Russia to China. It's all about keeping us in the Middle East for Israel. That's crazy. Israel, you got nuclear weapons. You make way more money than we do on average. We're in debt. You're not. So stop.
They got health care for their people. Like they got like.
Well, that's my issue with Israel is we need to be worried about China.
Yeah.
We do not need to be worried about Israel. You can take care of yourself.
And yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that's why I'm so against giving them.
But that's what it is with the Jews on average. They're all bullied by Netanyahu in the lobby. The ADL's the left, Likud's to the right, but it's all AIPAC's the right. It's all like they just, it's one track mind. And I'm just like, guys, you've already beaten all your enemies. What are you doing?
They want complete dominance. And the other thing too that pisses me off is like they bombed Qatar like a month ago. Like, dude, we have a military base there.
We have
like
3.
Like the biggest.
But that's the thing. I always hear I'm getting Qatari money. I know that's our ally.
Yeah, that's our ally.
They defended Israel, and they just Netanyahu. Oh, maybe Qatar says I killed Kirk. No proof. So what is that? Israel's jealous of Qatar actually being the most important ally in the Middle East.
I would. You can make that argument because we have a huge base there. We did a huge deal with them financially, right? That Trump was. There's a reason why Trump went to the Gulf first, and now he's only visiting the Knesset. What, Monday? Took him how long to finally go?
Yeah, so it's jealousy by Netanyahu. My point is, I know everybody, folks. This Qatari thing is made up. They defended Israel with their missiles.
Yeah, and
then how do they get treated for
Jordan
that?
does, Qatar does. When Iran was shooting all these missiles over, the Qatari shot a lot of it down, and so did the Jordanians as well. So, you know.
So why would Netanyahu run them down?
I guess he maybe his guy said, "Hey, we can get these Hamas guys. We got them. We know where they're going to be. We're going to do it." And he said, "You know what? Fuck it, let's do it." And they went ahead and they bombed them. And
no, I know, but this trope that anybody that doesn't agree with everything Netanyahu says works for Qatar. I ain't seen no check, never been contacted by him. My point is we got 3 major bases, our biggest Air Force bases there.
Yeah.
And then they're literally, Netanyahu's blaming them for saying he killed Charlie Kirk with no evidence. I'm just like, dude, you're attacking your ally.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is that?
He just doesn't give a fuck, man.
Why did they pick Qatar to make them the devil?
The thing with Netanyahu is he will blame everyone. He will do what he needs to do, right, to control power, to push the narrative. And then they just acquired TikTok too. So it's like, you know, we're going to see even more.
It's like the head of Meta Censorship goes, yeah, the Jews have taken over the internet. And if you say we took it over, we're going to censor you. Did you see that clip?
Well, yeah, Jordana Cutler runs Meta.
Yeah, she said that,
yeah.
and then he's like, "We just took over TikTok with Larry Ellison, and now we're gonna bully Elon Musk."
Yep.
And I'm just like, dude, he's literally trying to stir stuff up.
Yeah, and not only that, like, you know, if you look at YouTube for a very long time, who ran YouTube? Susan Wojcicki. She also is a Polish Zionist Jew. She passed away.
Took the shot, yeah.
She and you know what's funny? I was reading an article about,
Her son was a big listener of mine.
Really?
He still is, yeah.
Oh, I did not know.
We're sorry for your mom. You should come on, son.
I will say this. She, I was reading.
No, she said I had to take Alex Jones off. My son's a big fan.
She did say that she had to take you off, and then another thing she said was, "Oh, I go after people like Alex Jones and people that talk about anti-Semitic conspiracy theories." I was reading an article before she passed that she said.
And see, that's my issue. I've been on here 31 years. I've always exposed Israel when it's bad. It's just not the only thing doing bad things.
Yeah.
And then as
she said in her article. That like she went after people that are anti-Semitic conspiracy theories, and she had mentioned your name.
I know. Believe me, I know. But see, that's why they don't like me, because I don't hate in general. I'll oppose any corrupt power structure.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't think I know, it's been caught before. They're funding a lot of the crazy stuff with made-up stuff about Israel discredit. That's what they're doing.
Who's funding?
The Southern Poverty Law Center, ADL.
Oh yeah, fuck that. Oh my God, man. Yeah, that's.
You understand that they create like crazy stuff like.
Oh yeah, no, and the thing is like these guys like they write hit pieces on people like me, you, Nick, whatever, right? Get us banned off everything. Media Matters, ADL. It's like there's like a whole censorship regime in America where it's like they write a hit piece, they lobby to these social media companies. Did you know that this guy's on your social media platform making money? And then they like censor you.
Oh, that's the former MSNBC head censor that has the Onion that's trying to take over InfoWars. He was the Brian Stelter of MSNBC. They're literally trying to take us over right now. But that's my frustration. It's not that it hurts me to guys, sitting there doing all this, attacking me. It's like literally I'm under the ADL constant attack for decades. I'm just trying to be fair here. And it's this thing of saying, oh, you work for Israel because I don't wear a Hugo Boss uniform, because I don't like Hitler.
Well, I'll tell you this, man. You were one of the first guys talking about the Israelis being involved with 9/11. You know, people got to pay their homage, man, and show some respect.
Well, they always show the old clip and go, where's this, Alex? Well, you ain't tuned in.
Yeah.
That's my thing, is they go, oh, look, he said this the day after 9/11. Where is he now? I said it 10,000 times since then. I don't have to prove myself to these kids in their basements. And I'm not mad their kids in their basements. They just need to stop with this claiming people that are telling the truth, that are on their side of their enemy, just because it makes them feel holier than thou. You see what I'm saying?
And you bring guys like me on, you bring guys like Nick on, et cetera. Like, you wouldn't bring us on if that was the case, if you were like a shill for Israel, as they claim. Like, you bring people on like us to talk about this shit openly without, like, you know.
I know, but here's my thing. We don't have to prove to these kids that we're truthful. They just do that, and they need to become men and not do that.
Yeah.
Here's an example. We have breaks at the end of the hour and middle of the hour. They always take a clip, we go to break, and say, Alex is censoring. No, the break's been the same for 27 years. At 28 after, we go to break for 4 minutes.
Yeah.
When we go to break, they're going to take a clip and say, I censored you.
Of course, no.
I mean, this is mental illness, guys.
Right now, you've never censored me.
You need to be men. I invited you here. I wanted you on. You came. I appreciate being here in person.
Of course.
You need to be men. It's not about I can't take your criticism. You need to stop the mental illness. You can spend all day hating Israel, okay? I'm just saying you got to focus on China. Just like you said, you got to learn to see other points of the compass.
Yeah. No, I mean, you can't just be honed in. Like, obviously, right, you guys know me. Israel hates me. I hate them too. But, you know, the biggest problem here is I think that China is gaining more and more influence, more and more power.
And Israel sells our weapons to them.
And Israel, yes, and they steal our secrets as well and sell it to them. So I do think that China is something that we've been ignoring for a very long time, and we need to focus on and get out of the Middle East.
We got 8 minutes to break. I want to open the phones up and take calls for the whole next hour. But let me ask you this.
Do it.
I want to get into Trump's Peace Prize and all the rest of it you didn't get.
Sure.
Charlie Kirk, though.
Yep. Rest in peace to him, man.
Nobody's buying the official story. I don't know what happened. Where do you see that going?
Man, I like what Candace is doing. I like that she's, you know, taking an adversarial approach to the official narrative. And I think we just need to keep asking questions. And, you know, like I said, I'm open to all theories. I am still taking in information from all things. I'm waiting for the FBI to release more information, and, you know, the Utah State Police. I'm waiting. I'm listening to what Candace has going on. And honestly, at this point, like, I'm open to everything. I don't have a concrete theory in my mind of what I think happened or what I'm like sure happened. I'm open to all theories at this point, because honestly, healthy skepticism is very important. That's how we keep our government accountable.
Absolutely. You know, first few days, oh, the guard shoots him under the arm. Clearly it's a cell phone.
Yeah,
He goes like
crazy,
that.
yeah.
Or this guy's got a bottle of water. And I'm a traitor each time. Of course, those theories have all been dropped.
Yeah.
But 30-on-6 front of the throat, that ain't true.
Yeah. There's no way. Like, that was when they said they're 30. I was like, wow. Like, that's and then like there was some talk about like his bone stopped the bullet. I'm like, what?
Man of Steel.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, and this is the problem, because this is why no one trusts the official narrative, because of stuff like that. You know, just stuff like that. So, you know, I hope we figure out what happened, man. It just like, and then just everything that happened after with, you know, the memorial and everything. It just so many questions, man. So many questions. There's more questions with the official narrative than, you know, answers.
Well, for the memorial, they do this all the time. They're going to put a good face on it. That's what I would do if my spouse was killed. I mean, I would gut up, and, you know. I mean, that she is an actress. She is a person that does that. I mean, they're like, oh, look, she looks great. She's doing a great job. Well, they do it every couple days. Yeah.
No, she is an actress. She had been like on a reality show, if I'm not mistaken, prior.
Yeah, but I mean, they do these events all the time.
Now, there was, let me ask you this. Like, they were saying that, like, you know, how did they get the arena, you know, locked and secured and have this event ready to go within just a couple of days? Within what, 10 days or something like that?
Well,
that is something that I was a little confused about as well when I heard that.
Well, when you're in the power structure, you get stuff done quick.
Fair. I mean, you know, it is, I'm trying to think, who used that arena? Is it the Phoenix Suns that use that arena?
I think it should all be investigated, but if you look at certain slots, you call 10 places, what's open, you pick the one, boom.
Fair. I mean, and he did have obviously a lot of connections in Phoenix. It's just, like I said, a lot of questions. We don't know what's going on. You know, I know Candace is doing her investigative journalism. I know people are saying, like, you know, was it Tyler Robinson? Was it Israel? Was it there were crazy theories everywhere, even saying like his bodyguards were involved. Like there was just theories everywhere. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to look at all the evidence and I'm going to reserve my judgment. That's my biggest thing, is I'm just going to.
Well, yeah, because again, you're supposed to wed yourself to each new theory. They all fall the wayside, but we know the official story is not true. Yeah,
the official, there's too many holes in the official theory, man. I don't like, just the fact that they didn't show, like, if you guys are so sure he's the shooter, show us him prone shooting the rifle.
Which means they have the footage, they won't show it.
Yeah.
That's pretty conclusive there's a cover-up.
And then the 30-06 also, that doesn't make sense. That does not make sense whatsoever with the injury that we saw, right? If he had got shot with a real 30-06, I mean, you're a hunter, his head would have exploded, God forbid, right? Like that's what would have happened if he really got hit with that. So lots of questions, we got more questions than answers, honestly, with all the press.
All right, there's a lot of other issues and angles to hit here. I want to get into Trump and the Peace Prize.
Yep.
Now, the average person could care less about a Peace Prize. But from talking to people in the establishment, they're obsessed with it. Bill Gates wants it. Bill Clinton wants it. Al Gore got it.
Trump definitely wants it.
Henry Kissinger got it. And then now they didn't give it to Trump, and so he's all pissed off. Why
Henry Kissinger getting it is crazy. After bombing like all of Southeast Asia. Like,
yeah, well, Obama got it before he even got into office.
Yeah.
And then so let's play one of these clips here.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about this. Let's play the Nobel committee head. They said we only give the award to people of courage and integrity, like Al Gore and Henry Kissinger. And then we've got after that Putin saying Trump deserved it. Let's play those back to back. Here it is.
U.S. President Donald Trump has repeatedly said he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and he'd like to have it. He even said that it would be an insult to the United States if he doesn't get it. What does as a chairman of the Nobel Peace Prize Committee, think of this, and how has this campaign-like activity by the president and his supporters, domestically and internationally, affected the deliberations and the thinking in the committee?
In the long history of the Nobel Peace Prize, I think this committee have seen any type of campaign, media attention. We receive thousands and thousands of letters every year of people wanting to say what for them leads to peace. This committee sits in a room filled with the portraits of all laureates, and that room is filled with both courage and integrity. So we base only our decision on the work and the will of Alfred Nobel.
Это не мне решать, кому присуждать Нобелевскую премию. Во-первых, мне кажется, и вряд ли кто-нибудь из вас или из ваших зрителей и слушателей, вряд ли.
Unlikely.
Сейчас скажу.
Let me explain what I mean.
Были случаи, когда комитет этот присуждал Нобелевскую премию мира, которые для мира ничего не сделали. И, на мой взгляд, решениями они нанесли огромный ущерб авторитету этой премии. Ну, человек пришел, хороший, плохой, через месяц, через два года, за что? Вообще ничего не сделал. Ну, разве так?
How's that?
Работают, это же заслуги за какие-то наши. Ну, и поэтому авторитет, мне кажется, он
Please explain the prize has
в значительной степени утрачен.
Lost credibility.
Бог с ним, не мне судить, но,
Not to judge.
Но достоин ли недостоин действующий
президент,
я не знаю. Но он реально много делает для того, чтобы разрешить такие сложные, десятилетиями длящиеся, годами, а то и десятилетиями длящиеся кризис. И уже я говорил точно, я по отношению к кризису на Украине, он стремится к этому. Чего-то там удалось, может быть, еще много удастся сделать на основе договоренности и обсуждений в Анкоридже. Но уж он точно старается, точно работает над этими вопросами, вопросами достижения мира и разрешения сложных международных ситуаций. Вот самые...
I'm sorry, that's weird how that works. We just throw them up really quick, so I had to read it fast. It's only for a second. But that's true. He's saying it's discredited. Al Gore, Henry Kissinger, give Hitler one. I mean, it's totally true. People say, oh, you work for Putin. My problem with Putin is I agree with like 99% of what he says.
Yeah, no,
what am I supposed to do? Lie and say I don't agree with that? Totally true. Sounds like Alex Jones.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Putin gets a bad rap, man.
Well, stay really there. Stay there. The mighty, incredible talk show host is with us right now. Myron Gaines, X on X. Myron Gaines, stay with us. All right, China is basically saying they're at war with us. Trump is as well. Things are escalating quickly. This is all totally insane, ladies and gentlemen. I want to take your calls. Also, Candace Owens is going right at what I have been focusing on. We'll hit this next segment because some stations don't care this first 5.
Yeah, we never got the autopsy either.
Well, they won't. First they said, then they didn't do it, and now it's bullet fragments. It all hinges on this. So I'm glad she's there. I'm not saying we were ahead of it 3 weeks ago. We were making this a key. So that's coming up. But I also want to hit some of the other big issues we're facing here. But you're a former DHS, Border Customs Enforcement.
Yeah, I was special agent with HSI, Homeland Security Investigations.
And you've been very fair about this. And I like Nick Fuentes. I think he's he means what he's saying. But when he said Trump isn't doing a good job on the border, you were here 6 months ago or whatever it was. You said, no, I know people in there. They dismantled it. You see them scaling up. I got to say they're heroes. They're doing constitutional duty. You'll see 2 guys out with 50 people attacking them, trying to get a guy. I mean, have you changed your view on that, or is Trump?
No, I think he's been doing good with immigration. And so, and I can kind of talk about it from. So I was.
Well, you're an expert.
Yeah. This is what I used to do. So like I started my career in Laredo, Texas in 2014. Obviously, I came in under the Obama administration, and there was like a border crisis when I came in. People were just storming across the border. They knew they'd be able to get in, et cetera. Then when Trump came in, Trump really made it a bit easier to send aliens back, because what we were doing was when they were getting caught, they were getting what's called an expedited removal or an ER. And when they get an ER, they have to get deported back within 2 weeks. And the good thing about that is they're not coming into the country. They're not really utilizing too many resources. They're not staying in custody too long. They're going right back over across the border. So that made it a lot easier to send guys back and deport them, because whenever you catch illegal aliens, you got to figure out a way of how you're going to, the disposition of how you're going to deal with them immigration wise. So that's when Trump came in. Now, to put things in perspective, when Biden came in, these illegal aliens were getting what's called notice to appears, or NTAs. Now, when you get an NTA, what ends up happening is you get a notice to appear in front of an immigration judge. But the problem with that is that you might not see an immigration judge for years, because
well, the average 7 years.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So bottom line, to dumb it down for people.
Yeah,
they dismantled it all. When you see your former colleagues, I'm not a brown noser for federal police. I mean, they do bad stuff against them, but this is heroic stuff we're seeing. I mean, these guys are
it's great, and they haven't been able to. And I want to make this very clear. Like, we haven't been able to do interior enforcement, right, for a very long time. I left the agency in 2020 because basically they said, hey, you got to pick one, either internet or be on the job, and they had to make me pick, so I ended up resigning. But I left in good standing. For any of the idiots out there, I literally still have my SF50. I might put it out there and show you guys that have said resignation. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so interior enforcement was very difficult to do because, in blue cities, they wouldn't want to come out and help you. It's considered like, frowned upon to conduct immigration operations. Worksite enforcement, I remember, was a big deal. If you did any type of worksite enforcement for investigation, where you'd be raiding like a farm or a factory or anything like that, and there were illegal aliens, you had to notify headquarters ahead of time. It was a lot of red tape to get anything done. So now they're finally like going out there and making things happen. Now, granted, they're using every federal agency. They're using ATF, FBI, HSI.
They've conscripted 30% of the FBI.
Yeah, they're using everybody. But the reason why they have to use everybody is because this has been a problem. This has been a can that will be kicking down the road for a very long time, where people have been coming into the United States and staying here illegally. And then not only that, people think we got people coming in illegally and that's just a problem. No, we got people coming in legally and then overstaying their visas, doing.
Hold on, let's come back and talk about that.
Yeah.
All right, former federal DHS officer on immigration, Myron Gaines, is in the studio, very popular podcaster. #1 men's podcast, Fresh and Fit podcast. Putting a bookend on this, though, people that are criticizing Trump for not reaching the numbers of deportation he did his first admin, they don't know they dismantled the enforcement system.
Yeah, no, I can say definitely he's doing a good job, because he's doing interior enforcement. Doing interior enforcement is significantly harder than just doing, well, he shut down the border, which is good, which freed up Border Patrol to go into these interior cities where they're doing this interior enforcement that you guys are seeing now. And I haven't seen a president do this ever. And this has been a problem that we've been dealing with.
It hasn't really happened for real since Eisenhower.
Yeah. So it's good that he's doing it. And, I can definitely say, they're using all the law enforcement agencies to do it. Even agencies that don't even have Title 8 authority like ATF, they're out there helping. So it's good, man. This has been a can that we've been kicking down the road for a very long time. And it's good that they're finally like.
Well, if you can't control your border, you're not a country.
Yeah. And he shut down the border. Now they're finally getting rid of the illegal aliens that are in. And then hopefully we can deal with the visa problem as well, because we got people coming in and overstaying their visas. Like as many people as we got coming in illegally, we got people coming in legally and then abusing the immigration system as well.
So 9.5 months into the Trump administration, give your honest report card.
For immigration?
All of it. Just
okay. So for immigration, I'd give him a B. I'd give him a B. Well, you know what? Here's the thing. Let me compare him to other presidents. Compared to other presidents, I'd give him a B+. Because I got to compare him to others. Because like what I would do, like I got to be realistic here. That's different than what he's doing as a president. I'd give him a B+ compared to other presidents for sure. Foreign policy, I like that he at least had discussions with Putin. That's better than Biden, right? I do want to end this war in Ukraine. It's a little harder than he thought it would be. I don't like all the support that we've been giving for Israel, so I'll give him a C on foreign policy. And then what else? Let's see here. The economy, I think, man, Biden left us with a nightmare no matter what. So I think with that one, maybe a B-. I think the tariffs on paper is a great idea. Could have implemented it a little bit better. What else?
But look at China. They've got a 98% control of rare earth mineral. They're now ordering all the countries they work with not to sell to us. This is economic war. I mean, he was handed a disaster.
No, he was, dude. He was. And that's why, like, I feel a little bad, like, when it comes to the economy. And then also keep in mind, like, the economy was doing great until COVID happened with under Trump. So the first term. So, it's very difficult, but I will definitely give him a B+ on immigration right now. And then with foreign policy, like I said, I like that he at least tried to talk to Putin, even though we couldn't really, we still got the war going on. I don't like what's going on in the Middle East. I get that,
I agree. So do you think this peace still sticks?
I don't trust the Israelis. I just don't trust the Israelis, man. I don't. And I know that they had bombed Gaza, like, hours after it had happened.
Yeah, so let me bring this up then. We started with this, but the Democrats are saying uprisings, violence, Kamala Harris, fight, uprising. What do they
wrote a
do?
book. She said that me and Andrew Tate kept her out of the White House. In her book, literally in her book, she said that she had lost like young men because of Myron Gaines and Andrew Tate. So,
well, that's probably true.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this then. If you're the Democrats wargaming, what do they do when they're in so much trouble?
That's a good question. Well, the big thing is mobilize these organizations like Antifa, BLM, etc. Because we know that anytime BLM mobilizes, they go crazy and they destroy the city, and that obviously becomes the focus of a lot of things. We know censorship is their main tool. That's what they do. We know for a fact that they colluded with YouTube and these platforms to censor people during the Biden administration. We know that for a fact. Is with all the platforms. Yeah, I mean, violence and censorship is what the left does.
Exactly. And then in the Podesta plan, when Trump responds with troops to lawlessness, which he's supposed to do under the law, not his right, his duty, then they call him a dictator.
Like where
does that go? What do you make of Kash Patel getting rid of the ADL and Southern Poverty Law Center for their advisory capacity in DHS? And
I was happy. When I saw that he distanced himself from the ADL, that made me very happy.
That's a big deal.
That's a big deal, man. Because guys, for those that don't know, like for a very long time, the FBI was like pretty much like in lockstep with the ADL. So the fact
that was a report in June of 2021, like white supremacy is the #1 threat. So for those that don't know, the left's losing its power. Trump's actually trying to dismantle it. This is seismic. I mean, so what do you think they pull?
Well, now that they lost the FBI, because we all know the ADL is an instrument of the left. Yeah, I mean, they're not having as much influence. Slowly but surely, they're losing influence. We see that YouTube is reeling back their censorship. They're allowing creators back on the platform that were terminated, right? I hope that you and Nick get back on. You guys should be back on there, especially since you guys got censored for political speech, which is absolutely ridiculous.
Sure, so let's talk about this.
Sure.
Some people think Israel is what you worship and it's God. You can't question it. I disagree with that. Some people think only evil comes out of Israel. I disagree with that. But regardless, the trance, the spell of anything Israel, anything you got to bow down, anything, that's over. I don't think anybody denies that. I don't want to have some cataclysm and some war out of this and some final solution either way or some Samson option. But with Israel doubling and tripling down to counter this, that's going to cause a bigger response. So the big question here is...
False flag?
Yeah, exactly what I said with Tucker 6 months ago. And he said, false flag, synagogue blown up, something like that. You can see that is the next move.
They've done it in other places. In Australia, for example, like they put like swastikas and stuff like that, and they find or like a fake almost explosion or like
yeah, Jussie Smollett stuff.
Yeah, and like they said, oh yeah, like
remember when Trump first got elected, all these cemeteries got attacked, and Trump said, I heard it's staged. They busted the guys doing it.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. So what I'm saying is, now that the trance is over. Mm-hmm. And so much the revolution now is about hating Israel, where I'm like, okay, it's important to kill, taboos and sacred cows, but that's not everything. But it doesn't matter. That's where it is.
And they're going to use that to their advantage.
Exactly, to play victim.
Yes,
so I'm worried about the Hegelian clash.
And this is why I tell people it's so important to be accurate. Like if you're going to go ahead and you're going to have like your criticisms or whatever, name the people, name the events, be very articulate, be very accurate. And the biggest thing I always tell people is, do not always denounce violence. We don't believe in violence over here. We debate. We have an ideology where our ideas we can inspire change without.
We don't believe in offensive violence.
Yeah, no, obviously defensive, but
and the problem is, yeah, exactly. It's 2 + 2. You read my mind. False flags here. So
yeah,
Netanyahu seems very confident.
They're going to use this. They're going to use all this anti-Israel.
He's planning something really nasty.
Yes, they're going to use it to their advantage. Absolutely. That's why I'm telling guys, you can't use violence, man.
I don't think anybody's even planning that, but it's going to be set up.
Yeah.
So let me ask you that. Israel lobby's coming in with total censorship, which will only make it worse with a Streisand effect. How do you see it ending?
That's a good question, man.
Because if I was Israel, I'd just shut up. You just defeated Hamas and Hezbollah. You've got all the big tech. You're doing well. Just move on. But Netanyahu loves the power he's getting.
He does.
So he's pressing it.
He needs it.
Yeah, and I'm just like, dude, don't blow us all up with you. Like,
yeah, he needs it because he's going to go to jail. So, and the other thing too is like they kind of need him because you don't want to Ben Gvir or Smotrich or all these other like far right radicals.
Sure, and I get in a fight going all out and I'm done, guns ablazing, fire all your guns at once and explode into space. But we're literally, what I don't like is we're being led around by the nose by Netanyahu, by his chutzpah.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
So is there any way to get him to stop?
He'd have to get out of power.
If he wasn't on such a power trip, he's won. He should just shut up. He should stop. But he's not doing that.
No, he's not. He's not. And the other thing also, I've predicted this too. I think at some point, right, when Israel's ready to rebrand and not get hated by the world and everything, I think they're going to offer him up as the guinea pig.
Oh, you can see him like Zelensky getting teed up.
Yeah, I think he's going to get teed up as, oh, look, now we want to have diplomacy with the Middle East. Now we want to have peace.
It's like China after 20 years of Mao killing 80 million people. They locked him in jail.
Yeah, yeah.
And his wife.
And the ICC wants him, right? So maybe they might say, you know what, here's we're going to bring in another president. But the thing is...
Yeah, but Netanyahu knows that. So... See, all you guys want to obsess on Israel today. I'm obsessing too. I want to know where this goes. Like, have you thought about where this goes?
It's either they're going to offer him up or they're going to do some type of false flag to inspire and rally radical anti-Semitism laws, radical censorship that's critical of Israel, because they don't have the youth anymore. So,
it's a no-brainer.
It's cooked.
The left's going to hit a traditionally black college, which I said before they started hyping it. They're going to hit an illegal alien demonstration, and they're going to hit some big synagogue imminently.
I wouldn't be surprised, man. And now they're buying TikTok.
And then he brags about it.
Yeah, with all the influencers. Yeah, we're going to wage the 8th war on.
Like again, you got the head of Meta. She's like, we control everything, and if you say it, we're going to censor you. It's like, I couldn't paint you as the villain. Like, stop. I don't want to blow up Israel. I don't want the Guder Damarong. you know, I don't want the Armageddon, but it's just
and with the Israelis, it's like they'll go there. Like, I don't think people understand. Like, the Israelis will go there. They will do what they need to do to preserve Israel. They will do whatever they need to do. I mean, we saw this with Golda Meir. Golda Meir like showed her during the Yom Kippur War. They were going to lose. A lot of people don't talk about this. They were going to lose in the Yom Kippur War. So what did she do? She moved the nuclear weapons around and telegraphed it. The Russian satellites saw it, and they're like, "Oh, you guys got to chill out." And Nixon had to give in the airlift because she was like, "I'm going to bomb these Arabs with."
Well, no, they called the Pentagon and said, "Aim your satellite here." They showed nukes on the tarmac.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And literally Nixon was like, okay, I guess we got to support. Otherwise she's going to.
So literally being held hostage by psychotics.
Yeah.
Just like NATO's holding us hostage with Russia.
They are. Yeah.
People, oh, Russia. No, the West started it, folks. They brag.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Russophile. Never been to Russia. Not against the Russians. Not against. I'm just tired of being held hostage by these people. It's like North Korea holding us hostage.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, if people are going to dispute the fact that like we didn't like antagonize Russia with the whole NATO expansion, whatever. Like NATO's created more problems than help. Like it's served this purpose. I don't even know why we're still involved with them. It's a big. And I see Trump trying to distance himself. He wants to limit the amount of money that goes into. It's a big bureaucracy. It's a bunch of BS, man. The whole NATO.
Well, we're being held hostage by these bureaucracies.
No, we are absolutely we are. It's ridiculous, and honestly,
I mean, the EU is a flagrant tyranny now.
They are, and
just like I'm not against Europeans, but I'm against their governments.
They're cooked,
and I don't say that as like a couch, like, oh, don't censor me, I'm already censored. It's not like, oh, I'm really secretly Hitler, but I don't. No, I genuinely love everybody. I'm not against the people of Europe or Israel. Your leaders are evil.
Yeah,
they're gonna get us all killed.
And not only that, like Europe has failed. Like the
demographics,
demographics have failed. Like it doesn't look like Europe anymore. Mass immigration is destroying it in every way. Their economies are trash. Like,
I mean, Europe's the new Soviet Union.
Slowly but surely.
All right, let's give the number out and take some calls on any subject you want. On Letitia James indicted. On
what happened with Benny? We didn't get to cover that yet, right?
Which one?
But with Benny Johnson, like some guy got arrested.
Oh yeah, we got that. That's coming up.
Okay.
So, no, we'll do it right now. We got head of Homeland Security, Trump responding, Benny Johnson. I don't know, guys. What should I? There's so damn much. Man. I mean, I don't even keep track of it. So you know, here we are. We're taking your calls on any subject we just raised. On Antifa declared an international terror group. You know what that means? You saw what Trump does to those boats. That means like anything.
That's why it's a W. Because now you can leverage the intelligence agencies to help you as well with these. When it's a foreign terrorist organization, you can use a lot of resources.
Yeah, you're giving an enemy combatant.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so this is the gloves are off, folks.
Thank God.
So any subject you want to raise, but on the 10 topics we've had here today.
BLM needs to be next.
Absolutely.
They need to be a terrorist organization.
Toll-free number to join us, 877-789-2539, 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-2539. Just have your comment ready because we want to go to you, go to the next person. But let's raise that. Let's play a little bit of Benny Johnson talking about his family being targeted. Here it is.
Yeah. The individual who wrote me described why he wanted me dead. I was a white, cis, Christian Trump supporter. They described in great detail how I would be killed in an open field just like Charlie, how much blood would come out of my head and neck when it was blown off. This individual described orphaning my 4 beautiful children and widowing my wife with great joy. You might want to say another left-wing radical, another extremist. And to that, I would like to direct your attention to the state of Virginia, where Democrats have nominated and are about to vote for the chief law enforcement officer in that state, a man who has done the exact same thing.
That's who they are.
Who's calling for the assassination by bullets of Republicans that he disagrees with.
And police.
The killing of their children. The slaughtering of, as he says, little fascists. Are my 4 innocent, beautiful children little fascists?
Remember, they said Kirk's kids deserve to die.
Yeah.
And by the way, I'm not listening, Benny. I got 20 of these a day. I need a press conference.
Yeah.
Extremist. It is mainstream.
Did he put you with Pam Bondi and you get these guys arrested, huh?
And we need a moment of reckoning here. This has to stop. This cycle must end. Is any Democrat courageous enough to disavow violence?
We have the mayor of Chicago saying go to full war.
For individuals that espouse these things, like what happened to my family, or what's happening in Virginia, to call for those kind of candidates to step down? Will Democrats vote?
By the way, they're defending that guy in Virginia that says kill cops, kill all the Republicans, kill their families. Like, that's going to be the AG, folks. That's crazy.
This has been a problem that's been, leftist violence has been boiling in this country for a very long time, dude. It's absolutely nuts.
But you cannot make peace with evil as a Christian. You cannot unite with people who want you dead.
They truly want to kill us.
I want unity.
Believe me on
They
that.
want to kill us, dude. I get death threats, you get death threats.
They gotta sell me on it, I don't know.
Like, it's absolutely nuts.
I can't believe my house now.
For that first to happen, we must understand the battle. We are fighting good versus evil, darkness versus light. And good must
What about the guy they caught with 200 bombs about to blow up the Catholics at the Supreme Court meeting?
Yeah, decent nuts. Absolutely nuts.
And they gave the guy 6 years. They caught trying to kill Kavanaugh.
Oh, wow. 6 years?
Cash Patel. Dan Bongino.
Yeah, remember, guys, pull it up. They caught him with the plan and the weapons, and he got 6 years.
Fed or state? Do we know?
That was Fed, yeah.
You know,
my point is,
we have a serious problem in this country for violence. Man.
As populists, we don't like play victim and just whine about stuff all day. Yeah. Another thing is Benny. I love Benny. He's a great guy. It's totally real, and the guy was coming to kill him. But I'm like sitting there going, God, we probably got 20 death threats right now.
Yeah, no, probably, man. But
I'm sorry, 8 years in prison.
It's absolutely nuts that this is where we are in America. And here's the difference, right? If someone on the left, right, a colleague of ours on the left, maybe a political commentator on the left, like something happened to them, me and you would probably say, we need to find the person that did this. Like
100%.
We like, why is it that people on the left, like, they celebrate when we get killed? Or
the liberals are like, too bad ramming the cops in Chicago. Too bad they're not dead. They're literally saying it.
They literally want us to die. And it's like, if something happened to a big political commentator on the left, I would say we need to go find that individual immediately. None of us would be celebrating their death. It's crazy, dude. It's absolutely nuts. We have a serious problem in America with radical leftists and violence. We seriously do. They try to kill Nick. They assassinated Charlie. I've gotten a million death threats. People, I don't even leave my house like that much often because people, and with me, it's like the blacks, they hate me the most. So, because, you know, you get death threats. It's like everyone on the right, it's like we've all dealt with death threats.
Some of the black supremacists get mad at you. You tell some of the black folks clean up their attitude.
Basically, I tell them, like, reparations are a scam. Stop crying. Stop being a victim. Like, stop being pussies. And they get mad and they say, oh, well, you're Uncle Tom. You're a coon, blah, 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 all this other stuff. So they hate me too. So it's like,
see, people don't get playing a victim is not good for your mind.
It's not. It's absolutely not. And it actually holds the black community back. I'm glad that Steven Crowder did that little bit at the barbershop so he can, you know, he see these idiots for what they are a lot of the times. This is what I deal with like every day with these morons. And they absolutely hate me, but I'm like, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. If it benefits you, if it doesn't, it is what it is. And we have a serious problem with black fatigue and black people being victims and crying and saying reparations. Why do we need to pay you money for work that you didn't do to be paid by people that never enslaved you? It makes zero sense.
Well, you know, 2% of the South had slaves. The vast majority of people in the U.S. ancestors came here after slavery. They literally want, like, take the Ukrainian woman stabbed to death by the black schizophrenic. Yeah. And people are like, oh, she deserves it. Ukrainians never had black slaves. That woman doesn't even know what that is. She had black lives.
She was a BLM supporter.
She
was a BLM supporter. If
he probably could have asked her out for a date.
Was that?
He probably could have asked her out for a date.
Dude, if she was racist, she would be alive today. She should never sat next to that fucking idiot. Like, you know, and she was a BLM supporter. Like, her not being racist got her killed.
And he said, I got that white girl.
Ridiculous. Then he tried to blame it on demons after, saying like, "Oh yeah, something was in my mind, like some crazy shit, like I was infected." These guys don't take any accountability. Like, honestly, if I was the
well, I would hate to see a white guy stab a black woman for no reason.
Yeah,
I would decry it immediately.
Yeah, it would be terrible. Like, we need to honestly, like, these guys just need to be tortured. I think we need to make like a live stream channel where these guys get tortured 24/7, live stream in HD, and that would, I think, that'd curb the crime. Instead of putting them in prison.
All I know is the powder keg is here.
Yeah.
And the left's not going to give up. So let me ask you this. What do you expect them to do next, Myron?
You know, it's going to be either a false flag from the Israelis or these guys are going to continue to destroy cities or go nuts, right? Because I don't see it like this isn't the first time. What's going on in Portland right now? They did this in LA with the riots. Like, it's just going to keep going.
Well, Trump sending 200 troops to Israel, perfect false flag.
Yep.
But Trump teed himself up before it was ever said. I said on July 13th, I said, next they'll say Iran's behind it. 3 days later, they did it. Then Trump goes, if I ever get killed, bomb Iran. He just queued it up for Netanyahu to get Trump killed.
Yes.
Then attack Iran and take him out and them. Bad move right there.
Yeah. And they've been trying. The Israelis have been salivating for this war for years. They've been trying to get it forever, for decades actually. You know, and the Iranians don't want war, dude. They want the sanctions gone. They want to be able to have an economy.
All right, we're going to break. I want to come back and go to Justin, Austin, the Texas Skeptic, Jack, Carlos, Kevin, Noah, Kurt, Jonathan, Sam. But Myron Gaines, X on X. 60 seconds.
Yeah.
9 months into Trump. What would your advice be to him?
Please don't get us to war with Iran. Under no circumstances. We don't want any wars. No war with Iran. That'd be my biggest thing.
Schumer says he wants to keep the government locked down to have an explosion next Saturday.
What an idiot.
Do you think the Democrats will be successful?
As a guy that's worked in the, you know, because I went through the last government shutdown, actually, funny enough. Political posturing, man. These guys, and the thing is, like, the government employees still got to work. They'll get their back pay and everything else like that. You know, a lot of these guys end up just getting a vacation. Like, the people that are essential have to go to work. But this is political posturing from these guys. I think they're pissed off about the big, beautiful bill still, if I'm not mistaken. That's what they're really mad about. So we'll see what happens.
That's one of Trump's biggest successes, is cutting NGO funding.
Yeah, the big beautiful bill. You know, there was some. Look, it's so big. You know, pause. There was a lot of good parts of it too. Like, obviously, with a lot of it had to do with like immigration funding. Well, immigration enforcement funding, which is good. You know, tax cuts, all this stuff.
There's like $100 billion in there for that, right?
Yeah, and then also he got rid of like the SNAP benefits, the welfare. So all the porch monkeys got to go back to work.
All right, Myron Gaines, stay right there. Let's take some phone calls when we come back in 4 minutes. And remember, you're the Paul Revere's. Share the live feed right now on X at Real Alex Jones, man.video, infowars.com/show. By the way, Myron Gaines is going to be on the War Room today with Harrison Smith coming up. We're going to your phone calls right now. We're going to move quickly through your calls, the order they are received. Justin in Texas, you're on the air worldwide. Go ahead.
Hey, Alex. Hey, Myron. Big fan here. Been watching you for 20 years, and I bought thousands of dollars worth of your products, and I'm going to continue.
Thanks for keeping us on the air, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, for sure. My question for Myron is, I've heard you, Alex, bring up the scripture in the Quran, and I know the Jews have, you know, done this and that, the caused 9/11, the Jews did this and that, everything they're guilty of. But the Quran, my question is about the Quran. Alex has brought up several times that there's a verse in the Quran that says men can have sex with 9-year-old boys, up to 9 years old. Is this true?
I don't know, man. I mean,
Myron, I don't think are you Muslim?
I am Muslim, but I'm not like a devout. Like, I don't practice as much as I should.
Yeah. I mean, I've read all that stuff before in there. I don't remember the exact places it's in, but yeah, there's I think Muhammad, didn't he marry like a 9-year-old?
That's what they say. I mean, there's see, and I'm not like a religious guy, so I know people are going to be like, Myron, you should know this, blah blah blah. But I'm not a religious guy, so it's not really my thing. Because there's a hadith that covers that where it's actually Aisha was actually 18, but again, I'm not a religious scholar, so I'd have to.
Then I see these rabbis on TV. I don't think that's classic Judaism saying you can have sex with a girl till she's 3 because the
with the Talmud,
because the hymen grows back.
Yeah, it's
not trying to go there, but it's like it's in there. I've read the Quran. I don't remember the exact spot, but it's like if you are a shepherd and there is a boy, if he's under 9, you may have him to take comfort. It's in there.
I don't know. So
everything's answered there. So. Anything else, Justin? Is that what you wanted to bring up?
Yeah. No, my only question is, like, all these guys, they run, like, the biggest platforms, and they say, oh, man, we're persecuted. We aren't able to speak. And I know, it's like you said, Alex, if I go, man, if I start a program and I say, the Jews are this, the Jews I will be like the biggest influencer there is. But all these guys that run the manliest programs, they all follow this book that says dudes can have sex with little boys. And so that was my question. Like,
all right, I appreciate your call. That's what I tried to say is I don't want Israel to be the center of the universe. All I'm saying is it is now, and I'm wondering where all this goes, because that's all anybody wants to talk about, and I quite frankly am just sick of it. I mean, I like you said, China and stuff. There's one track mind. That's all people talk about. It drives me crazy. Austin in Missouri. Go ahead, Austin.
Okay, love the methylene blue. I would make a plea also that we relaunch the X3 so we can get our thyroids decalcified from all the fluoride in the water.
I agree. They've shut down InfoWars sales. We're barely hanging on. We want to bring back the X2, the X3. Great point.
All right. And on the Charlie thing, just a couple quick things I've learned from Dark Journalists, which you introduced us to. When there's a big operation going on, typically they're going to be releasing the junk conspiracies, which I hear you getting frustrated about. They keep sending us down these rabbit trails to give us fatigue on trying to actually examine the real independent investigation. And at the same time, they're trying to attack the people, which there would be no other incentive to attack somebody doing an independent investigation other than that they're trying to cover something up. And I thought it was very suspicious that after, Israel got accused of being behind it, that Netanyahu the next week felt the urge to come out and say that, first of all, if you turn on Israel with your speech, that you're a Nazi, and then, speaking about 8-front war, bringing up drones, which would be kinetic, and then also the information war.
Yeah, he had to know that would create a Streisand effect. Thanks for the call. Myron Gaines, I mean, why would he come out and say, I didn't kill Charlie Kirk? If I wasn't involved and I came out and said that makes me the front and center.
Yeah, I mean, I think he did that because, people like Candace Owens have an enormous amount of influence, and he probably said, we got to do something, to combat the narrative. And Israel's been doing really bad with the PR. So I think that and also keep in mind that Netanyahu's like doing a whole press run right now. Like if you notice, he's done a bunch of interviews. I think he did Tatum, he did Trigonometry, he did Nelk Boys, he did someone recently.
He wanted to go on Rogan, but he wouldn't do it.
Yeah, Rogan didn't want to do him. So he's doing a full press run now. So I think at this point, since he's in the middle of this press run and this happened, he felt the need to make 2 videos on this. Didn't he make 2 videos on this?
Yeah, he made a bunch of them, man. Yeah. He went on like a bunch of shows. I think it's more than 2. It's like 5 I saw.
Yeah, so he knows.
He went on Fox. He went on. He made a personal announcement. He went on Newsmax. A bunch of them. It's just crazy. Yeah. The Texas Skeptic in Texas. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, I know you're getting tired of hearing about Israel, but that thread has not been fully pulled out. We have the Mossad blackmail operation that was Jeffrey Epstein. You have the victims of Jeffrey Epstein giving speeches at the Capitol simultaneously while Donald Trump is having a meeting with one of the clients, Bill Gates. How do you deal with all that?
Well, number one, we're talking about Israel the whole show, so it's more of a begging the question. Like Myron said, is there any place for China or the EU or human trafficking? All my point is that it's only Israel. So we'll give it what you want. In fact, I pledge zero. No. If a hurricane hits Florida, we ain't covering it. I actually pledge. No. You got the floor. You called in. You're on. We are nothing but Israel is the devil 24/7. Go ahead.
Well, a lot of people are saying that you actually are a human centipede sewn to Donald Trump, and then he's sewn to Netanyahu.
So let's hit pause here. Just hold on a second. You see what I just did? Uncensored calls. You're here. We just spent an hour and a half on Israel. This guy wants to feel powerful, so he just said, I work for Israel. Dude, you just want to feel superior. You're pathetic. I appreciate your call. So pathetic. I literally said, is there time for, if an asteroid was coming towards Earth, could we talk about that? You get my point?
That was funny.
But the Israel cover-up is going to continue when you're on with Harrison.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, they'll probably say something.
Well, yeah, we're going to continue the cover-up here. You see that? He needs to feel powerful.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Sick. So see, Israel's got big problems. We're against it. How sick are you that your own allies you call in to say that so you feel like a big man? You are mentally ill. All right, Jack in Wisconsin, you're on the air. Go ahead. Mexico, Israel. More Israel. More Israel censorship. Go ahead.
Hi, yeah, Mr. Jones. You were talking about Israel decades before Fuentes and before it was Yeez, but I think a lot of those are seminar callers. But anyway, Myron, I'm a huge fan. I love you so much because you're one of the only people who are going on the street like Charlie Kirk, even more hardcore than Charlie Kirk, and taking on head first the
Thank you so much for
whole epidemic we have. So I really appreciate that. I love your material.
I'll be at Penn State very soon. We're going to go out on Charlie Kirk's birthday. So on the 14th, man, they can't stop us.
Yeah, those college things you've been doing is amazing.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
I knew you were smart, but you really upped the game for those.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, dude. As someone
you're covering up for Israel, though.
What was that?
You're covering up for Israel.
I'm covering up for Israel. Yeah, I'm covering.
That caller's better than you. You work for Netanyahu.
He's gonna find out. But yeah, no. You know, as someone that I went to Northeastern, right, which is like a prestigious school up in Boston, and I realized like how these college students nowadays are just indoctrinated in like they don't have any critical thinking, man. So I'm just like going back to the colleges and having discussions with these guys on certain topics that they don't want to. Well,
be safe because you're tearing the hell out of them.
I appreciate that, man. I appreciate
Anything else, Jack, while we cover for Israel real quick?
Yeah, I wanted to ask Myron, do you think there is Zionist or Israel stuff going on in Mexico and South America with the president of...
What, Scheinbaum? Oop, just covered up again.
El Chapo's wife wearing the Star of David.
Well, we know for a fact that like Israeli intelligence has worked with some of these cartels and taught them ways on how to dispose of bodies and military tactics and everything else like that. So yeah,
but in fairness, so do the School of Americas.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
We have a whole school in the U.S. training them how to do that. Training in Latin America how to run death squads.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
CIA was
cover for Israel. My point is I'm just being fair.
Yeah, the Iran-Contra, all that. So,
Thank you, Jack. Carlos in Canada. Let's keep the Israeli cover-up going. That's the whole show today. So John Israeli cover-up. Carlos in Canada, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Not at all, Alex. I'm concerned about World War III and where we're going to an irreversible
I'm sorry, we can't talk about cruise missiles to hit Russia. You're trying to cover for Israel right now.
Not at all. Let me just tell you, I love life, and I love people solving problems. We have a major problem in that we have a communication problem. The future historians will probably write about the period of Atlanticism between the empire builders of Britain in the time of Milner and the Rothschild.
But let's not hear about the Rothschilds and Milner group and actual geopolitics. Why are you cut up for Israel right now, Carlos? Sorry, I'm going to stop. No, you're absolutely right. We have the old globalist empire trying to square off against Russia again. We're on the verge of nuclear war.
And on the other side, you have BRICS, believe it or not, who are far from the Atlanticism idea, who have divided the Atlanticist Europe from the Ural Russia, and Russia and China gave, through the last conversation I had with you, when President Putin met with President Trump in Alaska, he showed him 2.5 miles apart. We're neighbors, number one. Number two, he came not as a conqueror, a winner in Ukraine. He came as a man who was basically...
Sure, and he just endorsed Trump with the Peace Prize. So, bottom line, why are we in danger of nuclear war?
We're in danger of nuclear war because if we don't put the Atlanticists in place, where they're manipulating, you call them globalists, basically they're the Atlanticists, manipulating, they're giving rise to BRICS, who BRICS see the United States not as an enemy, they see it more or less as an agent. If you were to put together not east-west, but go from Russia to Alaska to the United States and South America, and you had a $17 trillion debt, and somebody offered you the Road Belt Initiative, where all of these countries...
Sure, Russia wants an alignment, Russia wants world peace, and you are covering up for Israel. Thank you, Carlos. We don't talk about anything but Israel. I can't believe an Israeli operative called in to try to stop nuclear war. Folks, this is... I'm going to expose these people myself. Like, Carlos is working for Israel. He tried to cover up because he wants to stop nuclear war.
He's a Mossad agent.
We do not talk about nuclear war with Russia. That doesn't exist. Back to Netanyahu. We only spent 9% of the time. I want 100% of the time. Kevin's calling about Charlie Kirk. You better say Israel did it. Kevin, go ahead.
Better say Shin Bet.
All right. Alex, this is BB. Come on, baby. This is BB.
Okay.
No, hey.
Hey, boss, what do I do? Me and Myron Gaines are taking orders, sir.
Alex, thank you so much for everything you've done. Products are excellent. Look at long-time listener, listen to Hour of the Time on Ham. Watch you grow. Love you. Thank you so much for all that you and the crew have done. Okay, I called in because, man, I'm 55. I'm ex-Army, and all the videos and footage I've seen of Charlie Kirk's assassination, the Matt Baker viewpoint on Shot from Below. And already just a little bit just out of that, the ridiculous, there's so much that can be explained in that. For instance, the fragment statement that you had stated the doctor's report and how it came up and okay, fragments up in the neck. That is something to look at. The cavitational optics. When I first seen that first close-up, it's like, that's weird. My brain wasn't putting it together. But not that direction. No. A lot of issues with the official narrative, correct. The trajectory of how he falls off the seat. Okay, now just hear me out real quick and I'll let you go. The trap door.
Hurry up and blame Netanyahu or I'm going to have to hang up on you.
Yeah, no, I'm not blaming at all.
No, he didn't.
I
Shut
have
up.
no idea. Okay, so yeah, the trap door to the whatever it was too far to the left. Man, there's obviously a cavitation underneath that whole platform. So I mean, obviously, okay, for the love of money is the root of all evil, and I'm not in that echelon. But I mean, I believe in the word of God. I'm saying, but that trap door doesn't matter where the trap door is. The fact is that there was a cavity underneath that hole where Charlie was sitting. So there is, in my mind, I'm just saying, I can see all kinds of possibilities that make way more better sense ballistically. Why fragments, according to the doctor, whatever.
Well, there's a lot of ways Netanyahu killed him, but we know he did it. Thank you. We just agree Netanyahu killed him. That's the most important part. All right, let's being sarcastic, folks. Noah in Oklahoma, you're on the air. Back to Israel, thank God. Noah, Israel conflict, set up, build up to something bigger. Go ahead.
All right, so there's above 50% chance we may already be in the tribulation. We know it all begins with a false peace between Israel and a two-state solution. So that's first and foremost. Netanyahu, as you said before, there's an alien force. You want to call them aliens, demons, fallen angels. He is guiding Netanyahu and the Israeli government to intentionally gin up this hatred of the Jews. So everybody, all nations, it says in the Bible, that will be turned against Jerusalem, all nations, including the United States. You see that about half, 60% of the country rapidly ginning up. And it says in the Bible...
And Netanyahu's doing an excellent job.
Doing an excellent job being around by saying, whatever, it's intentional. So everybody, so when the Antichrist rises up eventually, somewhere in the Middle East, he comes in, it says he wipes out 2/3 of the Jews, and everybody's going to cheer it on. These aliens that show up, this false disclosure, the patsies with the 31 Atlas, we have these UFOs on footage, whatever. No, it's giving you the wrong idea ahead of time. So when Satan does show up at the midpoint, in the middle of the tribulation, he's going to be this alien savior and his appointed representative on earth, the new God. It's going to be this Antichrist. Everybody's going to drop down and worship him, become cyborgs, integrate with the,
All right, Noah, thank you. Let's continue the Israel cover-up. We don't talk about Israel. We only talk about Israel. Let's talk to Netanyahu, who's calling in from Israel.
Yes, Alex. The last guy did not work for me. I am Netanyahu, and I am very mad about this peace deal. I need more bombing. I need you to tell people that you work for me, Alex.
Of course, sir. What do I do? Yes, Netanyahu. What are my orders?
Alex, I'm going to need you to start helping me a little more. I need to come on InfoWars tomorrow in person and talk to you immediately.
By the way, he wants on all these shows. I'll have Netanyahu on. You would too, right?
Yeah, I'd have ask him some hard questions. I need more than 30 minutes, but You know, I've noticed he's like, oh, only 45 minutes every time he does an interview.
I'll take 10 minutes. I'll ask him, why did you create Hamas? Why did you fund them? Why did you stand down? I only need 5 minutes. Netanyahu, come on. Boss, come on. Honey, where's the check? I never got one.
Alex, I'll save InfoWars.
Netanyahu, I got to let you go. This is so... let's go to Kurt in Minnesota. You're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Alex. Hey, I just remember back in the day when Owen Schroyer used to cover a lot of the protests, and there was one of the episodes, 3 Antifa thugs kind of came right up on him, and they had muzzles of AK-47.
Wait a minute, you're coming up for Israel. We don't talk about Antifa. We only talk about Israel here. Why are you covering up for Israel right now?
Well, I just wanted to say that Owen held his cool, but I don't know if you ever had a muzzle right in your face like that.
They stick guns in our reporters' faces. They're terrorists, and they deserve to have a terrorist designation.
Guy's a Mossad agent.
Meanwhile, the cops are right there, didn't do a thing. So it's just fascinating.
No, I'm being sarcastic, but seriously, yeah, Antifa is. They must be freaked out though, because they thought they were above the law, Myron.
Yeah, they've been able to operate with impunity across multiple countries and states. For a very long time. So I'm glad that Trump finally is putting the hammer down on these guys and making them as FTO as they should be.
Anything else, Kurt?
I'm going to hang up and listen. I really appreciate it.
Love you, Kurt. Thanks for changing the subject off Israel. Good job. Checks coming in the mail.
He's a Mossad agent now.
He's Mossad agent. Jonathan in Texas, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. How you doing today?
Good. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I just wanted to throw out an idea, or like a little theory right here about the Charlie Kirk murder. I think that it could possibly be a FBI or CIA asset or an informant or something like that that's just kind of gone rogue. It would kind of explain why Kash Patel has been kind of like, you know, either fumbling on purpose or on accident because he doesn't know anything, and his own FBI is kind of like turning against him. And I think that the assassin that got Trump was kind of the same thing, because if you look at the past...
I agree. The cover-up of Butler parallels the cover-up of Kirk. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I mean, we have more questions than answers, man. And, you know, Patel, you know, prides himself on like the most transparent FBI ever, which I'll give him credit. He has been way more transparent than
they released a lot of stuff.
Directors. Yeah, I mean, he released 33,000 pages already versus like Chris Wray, his entire 4 years in or a couple of years in.
They screwed the ADL
like
out.
13K. Yeah, they screwed the ADL out. So I will say a lot of people are critical of Kash Patel, but I will say that I think he's done a lot better than other FBI directors. But with this case,
which is what an Israeli agent would say.
They should be 100% open with this Charlie Kirk case though, because it
Jonathan, go ahead. Great points.
Mass interest.
Myron.
Yes, sir. The reason why is because you still got leftover people from the FBI from the previous administration. And because of that, I mean, we already saw the two, I can't remember their names, but the two lovers that were doing the text messages between each other saying, hey, Donald Trump won't become president, right? And he goes, no, we'll stop him.
Insurance policy.
Yeah, exactly, the insurance policy. I think that there's a bunch of FBI agents right there that have been doing work. I mean, there was also that kidnapping from the governor that was egged on by these rogue FBI agents that were saying, hey, go kidnap her, go kidnap her.
Why are you talking about the FBI doing a fake kidnapping? You're coming over Israel. We don't talk about Whitmer kidnapping or J6. Israel, we only spent 90% of the time as part of a cover-up today.
Yeah, we got to talk about the... Come on, bro.
Yeah, and which you're coming back on Harrison as part of the cover-up today.
Yeah, well, I am going to, yeah.
The war, we're going to cover this up by having you here. When you criticize... All right, I'm out of time. Let's do one more. Thank you, Jonathan. I can't take these calls that are on Charlie Kirk and everything. China can't take that call. We got to have an Israel call. We got one. Devon in Georgia, part of the Israel cover-up. You're on Israel. You're on the air. Go ahead.
How you doing, Alex? Big fan. I think, to make this short, I think we need to understand that this is political theater. When you're talking about Israel, like, we're not bringing up, like, Ashkenazi. We're not bringing up like the real thing that it's based on. It's like political theater. We need to talk about bloodlines and that people aren't, oh, it's because of gay people. It's because of this and that. No, this is because of 1,000 years of slavery, real like terror. And like the way the news puts it puts it in like it's a movie. Like we're dealing with like people who think they're chosen and other people who think they're goyim, like not even worthy of it. And like we're putting this ideas into political theater when it's not even good and evil. It's just like, listen, you people don't deserve this. drink water, like read the Talmud, like eat, like drink their babies. Like this is the type of stuff we're dealing with, and then he turned it into political theater. And when we're talking about Benjamin Netanyahu, that's the type of person he is. He's dealing with, I'm chosen, and I don't even care about. It's not even from a dictatorship. It's just like, this is all or nothing. Like it's like a Wahhabist Muslim standpoint from a Ashkenazi. Like it's not political theater, and we need to pinpoint like what is actually going on instead of just talking about, oh, he's gay, oh, he's black. No, this is like.
Well, Devon, I want to thank you for helping cover up for Israel today. That's what we just did this whole show. Good points, thank you. All right, sorry to Joe and John and Jared. The show's ending, part of the cover up. But you're going to be coming on like an hour on the War Room with Harrison Smith to continue the cover up for Israel.
Yes, we're covering up.
People can. That's what you do. Because you're not good, I'm not good. Everybody that says we're bad is good. Myron Gaines X, that's part of the cover-up?
Yep, part of the cover-up.
Part of the cover-up.
Yep.
Well, thank you for being here in town with us. I'm going to come see you in Miami. Come on your show soon.
Dude, you are always welcome. It'd be great to have you on with some girls for an after-hour show.
I don't know. I got to behave myself. Well, I'm gay, so it wouldn't be a problem. So. All right. Hey, Harrison Smith is coming up with the Israel cover-up hour. Be sure and tune in for that as we cover up for Israel, because we're not good like you. And seriously, I need your support. So I'm funded by you. Big sale right now. Got the new InfoWars veteran line. We get one bottle of the RC Moss 50% off. That's how we fund the operation. Thank you so much. Great job, the crew. Myron Gaines, great to have you back in studio, man.
Always good to be here, man.
I asked you to come on a week ago. I meant remotely. You just show up. This is amazing.
Yeah, no, man. I love it, man. I don't mind. You know, every now and then I need a break from the bimbos in Miami, so.
You want to apologize for covering up for Netanyahu?
You know what, guys? My bad for covering up for Israel.
You did it again, Myron. That's just really bad right now.